Hey guys, welcome to Amy's Autopsy Report. My name's Amy. This video is going to be a review for Dead Hooker in a Trunk. Dead Hooker in a Trunk, this is the DVD, hopefully you can see that, the DVD cover, poster cover. It is a film directed by the Soska sisters. They are directors and screenwriters from Canada. They are identical twins, and this is one of their films. They've made other films before. I think they did one of the ABCs of Death, one of the shorts in that film. They also did American Mary, and I'm not sure what else. So this is going to be a review for Dead Hooker in a Trunk. Basic plot of this story is you've got, and they also are in the film. The Soska twins are in the film. You've got the Soska twins. One of them is playing a geek. The other one's playing the badass. The geek is friends with a guy who is really religious, and he's part of a youth group. And the badass is friends with this girl who's constantly doing drugs and getting high. And so the film starts with this crazy night at a bar, and the girl that's always doing drugs is in a band, and they're performing, and you can tell that they're all like drinking and, you know, having a good time. And the next morning, they all wake up at the twins' house, and the girl that's in the band wakes up in the bathtub, and the girl that's the geek is the one who wakes everybody up because she wants to know if her sister can pick up her friend from his youth group meeting. And so they all they pick up the kid from the youth group, and the badass twin is there with her friend who's in the band because the girl that's in the band wants drugs. So they all decide to go together. They pick up the youth group kid, and then they're going to leave and go get drugs. When they discover, when they open the trunk of the car, that there is a dead body in the car. And it's the body of a dead hooker. And they don't remember what happened the night before because they drank so much. And that's the basic plot of this movie. I've seen this movie, I think this is the second time I've seen it. I saw it a long time ago, and I didn't really remember it too well, so I wanted to give it another shot. Things I liked about this movie. This is an independent film. I believe it might have been produced at some point by IFC Films. If not, it may have been released through them. It had some pretty great cinematography. The special makeup effects were really good. There was a lot of blood in this movie, and I loved it. The story was actually pretty unique. I mean, it's kind of like a horror comedy, basically, because there's some comedy in it, too. And the whole thing is kind of ridiculous, but the cinematography was good. There was just overall really good production value. The sound design was amazing. For an independent movie, there's a lot of times when you're going to have problems with sound and, you know, issues with like music or not good music, but this actually had amazing music in it. The soundtrack would be awesome to have from this movie, and I don't say that very often. I mean, I like movies, I love music, obviously, and I love movies, but I don't buy a lot of movie soundtracks. I'm not really into, you know, buying movie soundtracks, but this is a soundtrack that would be amazing to have. All the music was really well done. It was put into the film like brilliantly. You couldn't have had better music chosen for this movie. It had some great lighting, especially indoors, like the bars and other places that they were at when they were inside of buildings, had really good lighting. Like I said, the sound design was good. The story was actually really good. And now let's get into the things I didn't like about this movie. There's not a whole lot. There were a couple of times that the movie looked a little washed out when they were outside. It looked like there were also a couple of times where there was some sort of daylight correction issues going on, where it was really bright in one scene, and then the next scene it was like a lot darker than it should have been. Another thing that kind of bugged me about the movie is that there's a lot of blood in this movie. They get covered in blood a whole bunch of different times. Blood spraying on them, you know, all these injuries happen because everything falls apart basically after they find the hooker in the trunk. And then you'll randomly see them like have all this blood all over them, and then in the next scene they're not perfectly clean, but they're too clean. And in some instances, like blood spatter that was on the face is like completely gone, and it's like these people supposedly haven't been back to their house. They're in the same clothes as they were, but it doesn't show anybody wiping blood off of them. And even if they did, it would sort of smear. They wouldn't be that clean. That kind of bugged me. And the only other thing that bothered me about this movie was there was a point in time towards the end, it was during the last half hour, that some of that was just kind of dragged a bit. Overall, the acting was pretty good, but there were some sort of lapses in that, too. This movie, I am going to give this movie a 3.5 out of 5. It was a lot of fun. It's definitely something different. I say check it out. I watched it on Amazon Prime, but I did have to rent it. It is out on DVD, and you can rent it from Prime, as far as I know. I didn't see it on Netflix either. But 3 out of 5 for me for Dead Hooker in a Trunk by the Soska twins. I think they do some excellent filmmaking. I love their work, and I was really happy to revisit this film. I say check it out. If you like these videos, give me a like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on Instagram at Amy's Autopsy Report. Amazon link will be in the description box below if you'd like to help my channel at no cost to you. And that's going to do it for this video, guys. I will catch you guys in the next one. Oh.